Hello everyone, my name is Eric Middleton. I'm the H2F Program Director. I'm hanging out here with Specialist Hacker. He's done a lot of wonderful things here at 3BCT, and he's going to tell us a little bit about what he's done and a little bit about himself.
So I'm Specialist Hacker with 2-4 Scouts. Started out with my air assault badge a long time ago, about a year ago actually, and from there just sort of took off and went into different things. So.
Cool, yeah. So I mean, definitely very impressive as a specialist and all the things that you've achieved. Like, can you go walk us through like every single one? You've done EFMB, you've done Ranger School. Like, how did you prepare for those things?
Okay, so the preparation was probably what took like the longest time. I mean, usually just like keeping up with like physical fitness in the Army should be like the standard for like Ranger School. So that one wasn't too difficult, but H2F was very helpful in bringing my run time down just a little bit more, so I was more comfortable with that. Some of the other things I had to do to prepare for was just get ready mentally as well, which, I mean, H2F had Coach Rebecca was super helpful with that.
Yeah, Coach Frank definitely brought it to you a little
yes,
bit.
He did.
Physical stuff, right?
Yes, he did. And then Coach Rebecca helped like walk us through like what to do if you're like mentally like challenged with something or you're going down like a rabbit hole. Biggest thing that was helpful for me that we went over was just like remembering your why throughout and how that why like progressed as I went through Ranger School was helpful to always have in the back of my mind. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, did you always, I mean, what is your why? You're talking about that why, so like what was it? What got you through like that Ranger School and all those other great things you did?
So there's a multitude of different whys. Like big one was I'm getting married soon, so I wanted to be able to do well for my fiance and everything to build a better future in the Army as my career progresses. My father did a lot of Ranger training, and he was an airborne, 82nd Airborne, so I wanted to sort of carry on the family legacy a little bit, getting my airborne wings. And then I'm hoping to apply for PA school coming up soon, so this should hopefully help make me stand out amongst my peers.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's another thing to kind of note is like, you know, there's not too many medics that have done what you've done as well, right? So as a 68 whiskey, and as a specialist, you're definitely shooting for the stars a little bit on this one. Can you tell us about a little bit of your MOS and like, you know, moving into that and like, you know, how that potentially prepared you or in the unit? What is that?
Yeah, so I'm a combat medic. I started out with the Alpha Company here in 2-4 and just being with the guys on the line, like seeing what they did, Ranger School was definitely helpful because now I understand it on like another level of how I can incorporate myself into that, seeing how like medics played a big part during patrols in Ranger School. So. And just being with them before was helpful, just to like get myself more prepared for like I guess the ruggedness of it. So
what do you think was like the most difficult thing that you went through, like completing all these things?
Definitely mountains in Ranger School. I mean, you're going to be going up and down mountains all the time. It was cold when we went through because it was winter time, and the calories that you're burning is like much more than you're consuming, so it's very physically demanding in that regard.
It sounds like maybe it was like some nutritional preparedness as well, right? You just gotta have that mindset, nutrition, physical.
Yes.
A lot of different things you gotta be prepared on. So that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's great that you utilize H2F. I mean, that's a resource that not a lot of people I think have within their formation, or let alone the brigade. So I mean, great example of like how you can tap into the resources locally here and excel and perform, you know, do things that typically people, you know, at your age and your rank, you know, and with your MOS don't really do, right? That's pretty cool. So, is there anything else that you want to like tell us about in terms of like how you got to where you're going? Or
my leadership was like super helpful and very supportive throughout the whole thing. Like even back when I was doing air assault, like we put our packets together last minute because we figured out the school was coming here. So they were like, "Here's your packet, like fill it out, take it down there." And then EFMB super supportive, and then airborne school. I mean, my first sergeant was like adamant that I'd go, and I was like, I don't know if I'll make it, but he's like, just try and see how you do. So I was like, you know what, I'll give it a shot. And see how it goes from there. And
I think like, you know, it's awesome because like you're painting a picture and you're a good role model for a lot of like junior enlisted soldiers, because a lot of people think like, it's just the sergeant majors that are going to have all these tabs and are going to be able to go to these schools, right? But you're proving that wrong, right? So is there anything that you would tell those soldiers, like in terms of like, hey, like get out there, just try it, find your why, or like utilize H2F, or like talk to your leadership? Like how would you encourage them?
I mean, for me, like my leadership was super supportive because I think they see the longer term, like if you want to stay in, but I didn't really feel ready. H2F helped me get ready because like the mental, physical, and then like me, I got spiritually ready by praying a lot, and like a lot of my family was praying for me throughout the whole process too. So
yeah, so a little bit of a spiritual component. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's, you know, you're only as good as your weakest link, right?
Yes.
So you got to make sure you're practicing on all fronts. So that's awesome. Well, I know, like, at least from like H2F, and I know like Colonel Barnett and Command Soldier Major Siglock, entire brigade, you know, we're very proud of like what you've done, and I think it's phenomenal. And like from here on out, you know, we only know that you're going to do awesome things, right? One day, maybe be a sergeant major someplace
We'll
yourself.
see, yeah.
Right, so cool. Well, hey, I really appreciate you hanging out with us and talking a little bit and describing some of the things you've done. Any final words of wisdom? What can we, like, 3 sentences or two words, 3 sentences? What do you got?
Let me see. Just don't quit and keep going. Like, if you have like something envisioned in your mind, like, prepare for it and then go execute.
Cool.
Don't just hesitate and sit back and do nothing.
Yeah, there you go. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Special Hacker. Really appreciate your time. And yeah, looking forward to seeing what you do here in the future.
Thank you.